It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see which conference reigns supreme today. Great game in store for y'all, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
First play and a first pass for Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers.
And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Darnay Holmes in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. But you know it's never easy to get Kyler Murray down to the ground, and to do it with a sack on their first drive, what a great tone setter defensively.
Oh, and no one's celebrating more than the defensive coordinator, because that's all he's preached all week long. Keep him hemmed in. Don't let him get into the open field and create big plays with his feet. To get him down in the pocket early, that's got to feel great for them.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Murray now to throw. And a completion to Wilson. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that may get lost in the grand scheme of things, but one thing's for sure. You certainly don't want to go 3 and out to start the game. So that's a nice job of finding the right play call and coming up with a first down.
Throwing now is Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. Here's Murray. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Again, a run with Connor. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. To throw is Murray. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 44 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Here's Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And that's all about recognition right there, because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. from the gun. He'll hand this off. Give him 6 yards in the first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Right back to him on first down. Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now it's Smith. Open man is Tucker. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Geno now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt? Turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. To throw, it's Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second down and 6 now. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. As they've got it as we resume action. Right back to Connor here on first. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 8. Here's Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Off of play action, here's Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Gino. He's going to take another shot here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to have it here just past the 25. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
After the turnover, here's Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now Murray. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Screen pass to Connor. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Smith. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Baron Browning from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Now Geno. He's got his target. That's complete. Down to the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker, 75 yards. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give running right is Connor. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Murray now. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Able to pick up a dozen yards, but they needed more. 4th down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. To throw is Smith. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Smith. And his pass incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. That's caught by Tucker. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Greg George deep for Arizona. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And this will be swung out here for counter. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far, even backed up late.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Throwing again, Murray. And it's caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Raiders offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 93 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just got to find a way to tackle someone.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Smith now to throw. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Back to throw, Smith. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 5. Murray going to throw. A short one here, caught by McBride. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Connor up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Murray now to throw. He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
To throw is Murray. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
And he's right there on the doorstep now. That's caught by Myers. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throw left side complete. That's Tucker. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 114 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
The slot man in motion right. Throwing is Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cardinal offense takes back over. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now 2nd and 5. Again, it's Connor. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Jeremy Chin there defensively.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's a 2nd and 5. On play action, it's Murray. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far.
They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. Here's Murray. That's complete to McBride. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing now is Murray. To Connor on the check down. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Once again, it's Connor. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Connor will take this one in. It's a Cardinal touchdown. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Chad Ryland now to add the PAT. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raiders offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Out of the gun, Smith. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as good running gets him to about the 44. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll fake it. Now Smith steps away. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Caught. It's Wilson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Here's Murray. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry.
It got his man complete. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Marvin Harrison Jr., 38 yards. And the Cardinals have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a two-point conversion. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. So unable to throw it in for two from the two. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a two-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to have a Raider first down. And that should be the one that finishes the script here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big fourth quarter comeback, able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? In the fourth quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Glendale.